Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. So as we know, AI is just really taking over right now. If you really want to, pivot your business in the future and stay ahead of the curve and with your systems and just the whole new wave of what's happened with the advancement and evolution of technology, you definitely gonna want to implement AI in your business in different capacities. And in the credit space, but specifically, it's no one like Miss Amber Noel as far as like what she's building and the systems that she have in place. She's really like ahead of the game in this industry with AI, unlike no one else in our industry. So it's really just a pleasure to have us on. Amber, thank you for joining us this evening and super excited for what you got to share with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the intro. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, so please let me know once you can see it all. And since it's such an intimate group, feel free at any point to all of you, if you have any questions, you want to interject, we can make this more informal. I want to make sure you get out of the conversation and this presentation as much as you can. So feel free to go off mute, cameras on, totally fine. All righty. Let's see, it's loading. 1 second. Is everyone able to see my screen?
We can see it.
Perfect. All righty. So thank you for having me. First, I want to acknowledge Gerald for building a space like this. This isn't just access to information, it's access to actionable mentorship that shows you how to execute and build real wealth. And for everyone here, that says a lot about the level you're operating at and your commitment to growing your business. So sincerely, thank you for having me. And as a short, my name is Amber Noel. I build AI systems for service based businesses, and I work closely with credit repair businesses to help them save time, handle more conversations, and convert more leads into clients. So today, I want to show you what actually allows a business to scale, how systems powered by AI make that possible. Alrighty, let's So before we get into AI, the fun stuff, I want to zoom out for a second and look at how your credit repair business actually operates at a high level. A lead becomes aware of you through ads, social media, referrals, word of mouth, right? They come across your business. They reach out, they get a response, they ask questions, sometimes a lot. They may even want a consultation. And from there, they decide whether or not to move forward with your program. So if they do move forward, they become a client. And at that point, they expect results. And it's a sensitive process because you're selling a service that ties into real life changing decisions for people, which creates even more uncertainty, concerns, and questions. So even after they become a client, the communication never stops, right? They still need ongoing support. So the problem, or the real problem, is every stage of that process requires something to happen. There's a response, there's a conversation, there's a follow up, and a decision is being made. But most importantly than anything of that, there's a process behind it, right? And so the key thing to understand is that these aren't one time actions, they happen over and over again with every lead, with every client, every single day. And without a system in place, all of that repetition falls on you, right? You're the one responding, you're the one having the conversation, you're the one following up and moving forward, people forward again and again across every stage of the business. So the difference between working inside your business and unlocking real growth through AI systems is we have here on the left, it says built on you. Everything is manual. You are the bottleneck. You can't grow beyond your time. It's hard to delegate. And growth sometimes feels impossible because you are working inside your business and connected to the growth that you're expected to have based off your capacity. Now, on the other side, on the right, it's built on systems. And that's the biggest difference. When processes are run on autopilot, systems handle on repeat, and you are able to focus on growth as a CEO of your credit repair business, it's much easier to delegate and your growth becomes a lot more consistent and predictable. So the goal isn't to do more, it's to build a business that runs without requiring you in every scenario and every point of your business. So if we move forward, the shift, right? So we talked about what the problem is. Let's talk about what the shift looks like, right? And so systems are what remove that repetition from depending on you. And this is where AI becomes incredibly valuable. AI is simply software that can understand, respond, and follow a process. It takes the tasks that normally require your time and executes them automatically based on the systems that you've built. So it's not by random, it's following a defined process. And once that process is in place, AI allows it to run faster, more consistently, and without delay. So instead of every stage requiring your time, you now have structure, right, supporting it. So when someone shows interest in your business, think about how often that turns into you having to step in. You're answering questions, you're going back and forth, and you're walking people through everything. And if you don't step in, nothing moves forward. This is something you see across the board. Like most people expect an immediate response, immediate support, immediate answers. And most of the questions you get are the same ones over and over again. So that responsibility falls on you. And the more your business grows, the more your time gets pulled into that. So more conversations, more follow up, more back and forth. Instead of focusing on growth, which you should be at the top of your business, you end up managing really minute details of your business. And it doesn't stop, right? After they become a client, now it turns into ongoing support, more questions, more updates, more reassurance. Um, and that's where things slow down, not because you're not capable, but because everything is just simply depending on you. So that's why systems are necessary. They're not optional. When you start thinking in systems, you realize AI isn't just one tool, right? We have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Perplexity, we have all these great intelligence tools that are extremely helpful and they're plug and play. But we want to think more high level and think more of systems because systems solve business outcomes. And it can support multiple parts of your business at the same time. So here, an example from an external perspective where you can automate. So at the top of your credit repair business, you can automate and capture and respond to new inquiries instantly. In the middle, it can qualify leads, it can answer common questions, it can guide people toward a decision. And then on the back end, it can follow up, it can onboard new clients, it can support your existing clients. So instead of everything depending on you, each stage is supported. You're saving time, outcome, you're responding faster, and you're converting more of the demand you already are creating. So, where to automate? And before I get into anything specific, I want you to think and look at your own business in a different way. So, think about where in your business are you still doing things manually? That could be turned into a process, that could be automated. Think about your repetitive tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis in your business. In most credit repair businesses, there's a lot of areas you're still involved that don't actually require you. Things like responding to new inquiries, answering the same questions, following up with leads, walking people through the process, handling disputes, basic client support. Because none of those are one-time actions, right? They're repeatable. They follow a pattern, which means they can be turned into a system. So that's where automation and AI really start to make sense. And I want to know it's not everywhere in your business, but in parts of your business that are repetitive, time sensitive, and process driven. That's the difference. So this is exactly where I step in. And one of the pieces that I automate and have created a system for credit repair businesses and service-based businesses in general. So CallFlow AI is a system I built to handle the parts of your business that currently depend on you. specifically around enrollment, lead to enrollment, and support to your existing clients. So it handles your inbound activity in real time. So when someone reaches out to you, instead of that turning into you having to step in, the system steps in for you and you're hands off, which allows you to really focus on the details, and the most important parts of your business is growth. So with Callflow AI, you'll have a custom voice agent that answers their questions, your lead questions, your existing clients' questions, gives them clarity on your process, handles objections and sells for you, sells your program, gives a program overview, and guides them toward moving forward, whether that is enrollment for a new lead or your clients, your existing clients, giving them the support that they need and reassurance and answering their concerns. And it takes it a step further with your existing clients. I can imagine, as I speak to so many credit repair businesses on a day-to-day basis, how many repetitive questions they get on a day-to-day basis from their clients. I haven't gotten an update. When can I expect results? Am I going to see this score? When am I going to see this score? Am I going to be able to buy a house? Am I going to be able to purchase a car? Right? We're giving them real-time reassurance that they're looking for without you coming to the forefront every single time. From a data perspective, 70 to 80% of inquiries are repetitive questions. They're repetitive. You're going to get the same thing. And so that has to be automated. So Callflow AI is built around your specific business process. It follows your business flow. It just offers a much faster, much more consistent, and without delay. It's 24/7. So instead of you being the one to handle every single inquiry, every single conversation, every single consultation, you now have a system doing it for you, which means from an outcome perspective, you save time, you are able to handle more volume, and you stop losing opportunities because things are actually being handled when they come in. And that's how you start to remove yourself from the day-to-day without slowing down your business. So I want to move forward and show you from a real-time perspective, what does that look like for my clients? So as I mentioned previously, I work specifically with a lot of credit repair businesses, some of the top credit repair businesses in the industry specifically. And I want to show you what that looks like in your business, in your environment. So these are clients of mine bringing anywhere from 5 to 6 figures a month. But regardless of where your business is right now, you still have to build it to scale. And you don't have to change how you run your business overnight, right? It's not the snap of the finger. You're supposed to automate every single piece of your business, right? It isn't about flipping everything upside down. It's about identifying strategically the parts of your business that are repetitive, that are time sensitive, and pulling you in your business. So you're not working inside your business, right? And we're replacing those with a specific system. So one of my clients is Creditfinity, right? They shared within 2 days of having Callflow AI that was live, she felt like she could finally take a deep breath. Her clients were getting the support they needed, and she enrolled 6 clients in 1 day through the voice agent. Those 6 clients would have not enrolled if they didn't have a conversation, if they didn't get their questions answered, if their concerns weren't reassured. And so through the voice agent, through the system, and guiding them through enrollment, they had the reassurance to join the program and even upsell opportunities as well. Another one of my clients is ASW Credit Cure. The owner said she was working way too much in her business, working inside her business, answering every lead and handling constant repetitive questions. Now everything is directed to her AI agent, and she's no longer has to be the one doing it all. Now she's focusing more of her time, money, and resources into her ad spend. Now, another client is JLR Consulting Group. Recently, she realized she was missing a ton of monthly enrollments from inbound leads she just couldn't respond to or didn't even know they existed. And fixing that alone changed everything for her business. So whether you're at 4 figures, 6 figures, or still building, you don't scale first and then build systems. You build systems so you can scale. So in closing, because you're a part of this community, and Joe reached out to me, and you're part of Infinite Freedom Community, I am offering a special promo for anyone here or anyone that watches the recording who takes action from this session. So on the right of the screen here, you can scan here. You can get Conflow AI in your business. And also, if you want to stay in touch and get more insight, if you have questions for me behind the scenes, feel free to scan the lower Instagram QR code and follow me on Instagram and just DM me AI. And that's another automation that you can see in action as well. So I want to open the floor up to any questions if you guys have any at all. I'm happy to answer.
That was that definitely was powerful for sure. Appreciate you for that, Amber. I'm gonna have to actually have a conversation with you. Check this out. So a lot of us, get a lot of leads from Facebook, like personal page, and
Mhm.
typically, it doesn't connect to Go High Level. I'm assuming like a lot of your AI services are intertwined with Go High Level. Do you have a workaround or like a webhook or something for that?
Yeah. So there's different like web like flows that we utilize based off your business. So I do work and Go High Level a lot. We do a lot of webhooks to connect to Facebook, but another piece of it is you have a number that you'll utilize. So every single system that you receive has a number that connects to your agent. So a lot of the businesses also incorporate their number into their ads, into their mini chats, into their Facebook leads, because now when your leads are seeing that, instead of, oh, I need to reach out, I need more questions, or they're just seeing it and they're going past it, right? They're
Yeah.
able to call the number and get immediate answers, right?
Yeah.
You can plug in your number, or we can also go from a system perspective and webhook it and create a workflow for you as well. But it's really customized to your business. So one of the pieces of the system is I give you an intake form. You're going to share how your business currently flows, and Conflow AI integrates with that.
Dope, dope. And also with the as far as like the sales calls, I don't are they mainly preparing them for actual closer or is like end or?
Yeah, great question. The agent actually can fully sell. So the agent can handle objections, any concerns that they have, and it's programmed. And again, it's based off how you want your agent to be set up, but it's programmed to close them on the call. They're sending a live enrollment link for your standard program. It also has the ability to upsell to your expedited program or a higher tier program that you have. So it's programmed to sell, to close.
Dope, dope. I think someone else had a question.
Go ahead.
That was my question, Daryl. You asked it about the Facebook because that's something that I'm struggling with, Amber. I'm getting responses where people are interested, but being able to manage those direct messages, right, in a
Yeah,
timely fashion, that's where I'm struggling to keep them engaged and to get them the information that they need without me physically responding to each
right.
individual message, which has become very consuming. So I fully see the value what the AI can do. So yeah, I would need some help with something that would be able to connect with the Facebook and Instagram messages to kind of help them continue through the process.
So
Yeah.
basically, remember, I help them grow their business organically, using like different strategies, getting other people to promote them and like shout outs and, getting people hot in their region from different influencers, things of that nature. So we can send them over a phone number or a link or what have you, but people still gonna blow up the personal DM. So just trying to figure out a workaround with that.
So what we found and data shows is it's not AI versus human. It's did I get a response versus I didn't, right?
Hmm.
And so a lot of times they just want an answer. And so if they're getting routed to a number, right, they will call and they will get an answer and they will be able to make a decision for that. It's how you position it though, right? We're just not floating a number here and say, hey, here, call now. We're positioning it as, hey, we have answers for you. We're able to properly guide you to getting you to your credit repair goals that you're looking for. Call now so we can get you set up. So the positioning of how you set up your system and how you set up your agent to speak with them is very integral to the process because a lot of times people are like, oh, AI, but data shows it's not AI versus you as an operator. It's did I get my question answered? Did you answer my concerns? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to enroll. The answer is no, that's that's the other side of it. They didn't get an answer. You weren't able to respond quickly enough. So it's that answer instantly and handled properly 24/7 that makes the biggest difference.
Gotcha. Okay. Also, with the disputing process, I don't know if I heard you correctly, but are you saying you have agents that can handle the entire disputing process?
No. So that's one piece that is automated for a lot of credit repair businesses that I've noticed. A lot of the clients that I work with have automated their disputing process through Fox, and some other applications as well. So that was just an example.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean that's the main thing. You got the lead gen, you got the sales, and then fulfillment, and then you're saying customer support. Um, they can call at any given time for customer support or send a text message as well,
Correct. So they're calling in if they have any concerns, if they're looking at, and this is a big piece of it as well that I'm seeing with a lot of clients is their existing clients are calling a lot.
huh?
A lot of it is about updates. Like, I am not getting an update. What are my timelines? Like, I received a letter in the mail. What do I do? Like, those questions are repetitive. And so the agent is programmed to answer all of those general concerns and questions that they receive, and you stay out of it. And there's a lot of stress when you're handling all of these conversations, not only from a new lead perspective, but also existing client perspective. And so that takes away from it completely, and your hands free from that perspective. So yeah.
So even with like my business, right? It's completely automated. We're doing like 40, 50 grand a month, right? Um, but I automated it, I delegated it basically with actual humans there. So I have a lead gen person, I have a live sales rep, I have a whole disputing team, I have a customer support team or what have you, and I just oversee the entire business. And then I even have people that go out and market for me without running ads. I'm just trying to see how much of that can I actually replace pretty much because and bring my expenses down.
Yeah. So that's a big piece of it is like the human aspect, whether you're hiring VAs, you have a payroll that replaces it from a customer service perspective and also from a selling perspective. So a lot of the conversations that in inbox that they're managing, and answering these questions from new leads, that can be replaced. A lot of the questions and a lot of the support that's needed from existing clients, that can be replaced. Now, it doesn't mean it replaces everything because human interaction is still important. Like,
Yeah.
AI is not supposed to replace every single thing, right?
What
There's
I'm
still
thinking, so with the customer support, it's probably just one of those situations. Whereas if they need to escalate to a rep, then you can
exactly
do so or what have you. Because typically with my customer support team, they can't just call in; they have to text and set up a actual call.
right,
So
and that
that
takes. So where to focus and where to think about is think about repetition in your business. Anything that's repetitive, that can be replaced. The part where you're answering the same questions, explaining the same process, selling, following up, which is about 70 to 80% of the business,
yeah.
and the piece of inquiries, that shouldn't depend on you. That shouldn't be depend on human interaction. That can be replaced through AI. From an escalation,
Also, with the follow up, right? How many follow up messages on average can they send off a day? Like, what does that look like?
so that's also the custom part. So you're sharing with me, hey, like, I want to have a three touch point follow up sequence, right? Or if I want to have a 4 point touch point sequence, or I just want a part touch point sequence, that can be customized to your business flow.
Dope, dope. Yeah, everybody should have showed up for this one for sure. You guys have any questions? Anthony, Bay, you guys
So
wanna?
this is Coach Monty and Kiera. So I keep hearing you saying that it more so responds more like general tone. So is it a learning agent? Like, do it consistently learn as it grow with the business, or is that something that you have to constantly keep training it and updating it?
Yeah, great question. So once it's programmed, it's programmed for scale. Whether it receives one A question or Z question, it's programmed to scale through all of that. So you don't have to keep learning. It's programmed through the back end, through a large language model that I've created. And because I have such a large knowledge base of credit repair businesses, it scales like that. So you can think of any concern or question or anything that you can think of, and it's programmed to be able to answer it. From a general perspective, when you think about more in their credit file, like, hey, I saw this specifically in my credit file, that's where it's hands off, right? That's from a proprietary and compliance standpoint. It doesn't go into specifics to their specific credit file that you're working on.
Got you, got you. Okay, okay. That's what I was trying to see. Was it learning? Okay. So pretty much once you send out that form, then whatever Q&A that we kind of been asked and kind of repetitive, then you'll combine that with whatever you got, and then that'll pretty much gel it together. So
Correct. Correct.
yeah.
So throughout my intake form, I'm going to ask you questions about your business. I'm going to ask you for a program overview. I'm going to ask you, like, what are some questions that you receive? And you share your specific enrollment links with me. I'm going to take a look at that. I'm going to look at the data and process it into the workflow and program your agent. You're able to choose gender, tone, do I want it to sell or do I want it to take more of a customer service approach? Do I want it to discover more and learn more about this client or more about this new lead to collect data? Like all of those things can be customized.
Okay. And then kind of to their point. So your background dealing with credit and AI, have you, I guess, in a sense, found or been working on a way to kind of get AI to handle the dispute processing? Because everybody process is different. So being able to train, it's crazy because I was just telling her, I'm like, if we could figure out a way to train it to handle that initial part of our dispute process, that'll take off a big, huge part of, like you say, that day-to-day manual repetitive work that we go through if we can train it to do that.
That's why I love these conversations, because you sharing that with me, like, okay, let's continue a conversation and let me learn more about how I can solve that pain point. Because the thing about AI automation is always evolving. There's an opportunity to solve at any journey point. So it absolutely could be possible. And it's definitely something I'm open to. So we can definitely connect and have a conversation around that. I'd love to learn more.
Okay, appreciate you.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, this definitely was needed for sure. Pretty sure you guys got a ton of value. Anybody have any other questions before we end off the call? Anthony, Bay, you guys wanna Anthony, I know you're big on systems and go high level or what have you. Do you have anything for Amber before we end the call? You
No,
might be
but I appreciate you. I appreciate all the questions nonetheless. And like I said, feel free to use a QR code, and then also message me on Instagram, right? And for verbatim, my Instagram is the Amber Noel. Send me a DM, send me AI, a comment, DM AI, and I'll respond. Well, my mini chats will respond, but nonetheless, we can definitely have a conversation. I'd love to learn more about your businesses, and see how we can help scale and automate those processes that are taking so much time and repetition out of your day.
absolutely appreciate you so much. Yeah, you guys make sure you follow her on IG, schedule a call with her, and appreciate you. Thank you for your time, Amber.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.